Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you how you can use a built-in image that's already in Design Space and turn it into a shaped card. So the first thing I'm going to do is come to Images. I'm going to come over to the search box and I'm going to type flip-flop. I'm going to choose this one, which is in Access, and obviously if you don't own it you will have to pay for it before you cut it. But the thing that I love about Design Space is that you can actually load these designs and manipulate them and play with them and turn them into something completely different, all for free. It's only when you come to want to cut it on the machine would you have to pay for it if you don't already have access or own it. So I'm going to choose this. And I'm going to say Insert Image. Okay, so for now I'm just going to use the bottom right hand circle and just drag this out so it's bigger. Now on the face of it this just looks like a pink flip-flop with a pink flower, but when you come over here and look in the layers panel you'll see that there are some areas here that have got an eye with a line through them, which means they're turned off effectively. So if I switch all these on by clicking on them to enable the eye, you'll now see we've got all these other elements. So the first thing I'm going to do with it all still selected is come to Ungroup. And then I'm just going to left click anywhere on the page to deselect. And now when I click on these elements, I can start to drag them apart and see what we've got. Okay, so I'm not going to need these flowers, so I'm going to delete those for now. And I'm not going to want these white flowers, so I'm going to delete them. But I'm going to work with the black shape and I'm going to work with the white shape and the pink shape. And I'll keep these couple of flowers for now. So I'll just move these out of the way for now. So with the black shape selected, I'm looking over here on the layers panel and I can't see that there's any way to ungroup this. So this looks like it could be a group because ungroup's not active. So that means it's a group. And nothing down here appears to be active. So there's a couple of ways I could do it. I could go to Contour and click on the right hand flip-flop here, and that will just leave me with this one. Or I could use a shape with the two of them on screen and completely separate them. But I think for now I'll try just using the one. So I've just rotated it, but I actually want it to be flipped the other way. So I'm going to come to Flip and Flip Horizontal because that's the way I prefer it to look. So now with this selected, I'm going to hit Duplicate. I'm going to place the duplicate above it, come back to Flip and flip vertically, and that turns it upside down. So this should be a mirror image of this. Now I'm going to drag it down. I'll just change the colour on this to make it a little bit easier. And I know it's this one because it's darker grey in the layers panel. The other one is down here. So I'm going to select that and I'm just going to change it to pale pink for now. So I want to bring this down until it overlaps just slightly. Then I'm going to drag an imaginary box around both and I'm going to align them up along this left edge so that I know that they're lined up together. With these two selected, I'm going to come down to the bottom and I'm going to choose Weld. And that's now made them one shape, and this effectively will be my base card and it will fold just here where my cursor is. So I'll change this black shape to white so hopefully you can make it easier to see on screen. But if I fold this card in half, that's the only part that will be holding it together. So I'm going to make a kind of a bridge here, just to give it a bit more stability when it's folded. So I'm going to come to the basic shapes and grab a square. I'm going to unlock the padlock in the bottom left-hand corner, and then using the green and white icon in the bottom right-hand corner, I'm just going to shrink this down and up just to make it a bit smaller. It's just under ½ an inch wide, and I'm just going to kind of place it somewhere there. Select both and hit weld, and that just makes a kind of a bridge so that when this folds here, it will fold there and it won't flop around when you put it on your mantelpiece or something like that. So that is the basic card shape, which is just over 5 inches wide and in total just over 5 high. So when this is folded in half, it would be approximately 5 by 2.5 high. But you can always resize it again once you've got all your elements together. So that's my base card. So for now, I'm going to colour that in black again now, because I've got the card made. So now you may want to make an insert for your card that you can write on. So this is where I'm going to use these. So again, with this selected, I'm going to come to contour. I'm going to get rid of this one and close the box. And then now, using the rotate handle, I'm holding my shift key down and rotating this, and it will keep it perfectly level. And if I place that over this base card, it should fit inside. I'll just bring it to the front. So now I need to make another one so that I've got an insert that folds in half. So I'm going to, with this selected, I'm going to duplicate it, come up to flip vertically, and then again I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to overlap them ever so slightly, select the both of them, align them to the left so I know they line up on this left edge, and with these two selected I'm going to hit weld. Now I'm going to bring those in, and I'm going to just stretch it out slightly. So I'm going to unlock the padlock just on this white layer, and I'm going to position it on the top section here, and then I'm just going to drag it down and maybe out a little bit and just position it, and let's see how that's looking. Might need to drag it down a little bit more. So hopefully when that is folded in half, it should sit inside my card as an insert for somewhere to write. So if you were using a dark card, you'd either have to write in like a metallic or silver, gold or white pen to be able to see it. But if you put a paper insert in, it can be any colour. So again, I'm going to put a bridge in here. So I'm just going to come back to the basic shapes, grab a square, unlock the padlock in the bottom left, drag this in so it's about ½ an inch again, or actually slightly less. I want it slightly less than this one. So we'll put it against that one and bring it in and then position it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this one in place, and then I'm going to bring this over here so it sits in the middle of that back one. Now with this grey bridge selected, I'm going to hold the shift key down and select the white flip-flop. So now I've only got those two selected, and I'm going to weld. And I just did that so that it will line up when this sits inside the card now. So this bridge on the white section will fold in half and sit centrally to the base card. So that's our base card and our insert. And then again now I'm going to choose the pink layer, go to contour and select the left one. So this one and this one, and close it down. And then this, if I hold the shift key down and rotate it, should sit, I'll bring it to the front, arrange to front, should sit neatly there. The insert would obviously go behind the black layer, and then we've got the flower as decoration. Now again, you can use the contour and turn one off and it's center, and just going to bring this to the front and just use that as your decoration. Then if you select all of these, you can now resize them to whatever size you want to make your card. So if we go to make it, what we should have is our inner lining, our outer card in black, our matting layer for the flip-flop, and the flower. And it obviously, if I don't own this, and if you don't, you would just have to purchase it at 79p to be able to make this. I'm just going to cancel for now. So I'm going to save it into my projects. And hit save. And it tells me that the project was successfully saved. So that's there now if ever I want to make that card. Now I'm just going to go back to the images and find the flip-flop again and just show you another way of separating them without using the contour. So again, I'm just going to drag this out so it's a bit bigger. I'm going to turn on all the hidden layers, and then I'm going to ungroup it. So again, I can bring the flowers out of the way, I can bring the top layer, the white layers, the flowers, and then get me to the black layer, which was my base card for this one. So I'm just going to move that one out of the way. So without using contour, the other way to do this would be to come over to your basic shapes, grab yourself a shape, position it over, unlock the padlock on the shape and position it over the one you want to get rid of effectively. Select these and hit slice, and then I could select this and delete it, and that's now given me the one flip-flop which I can use as my starting point for a base card. And again, I prefer mine to go the other way, so I'm just going to go flip horizontally, and then you could follow the tutorial doing it that way, and you could do exactly the same with the other shapes. So there are two ways. You can either use contour to turn off and you can still create shapes from what's there, or you can use slice to kind of break apart and use that as your starting point. So I hope you found that helpful. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't already do so. And don't forget to visit my new website where you can get access to shopping, products and my blog and my social media links.